I just would like to not really forewarn, but maybe caution also, and let us be very careful, especially when we dismiss or we prosecute or we recommend for the prosecution of people who came from the private sector and joined government. Kasi po nangyayari po niyon, ang usap-usapan sa marami pong nasususpindi, natatanggal ng mga tao sa gobyerno na galing po sa pribado, marami na rin pong natatakot sa pribado na sumama po sa gobyerno.
There's nothing wrong if a person from the private sector joins the government. For as long as you comply with government laws and regulations, you do not violate the law, wala hong dapat ikatakot. Alam ko po kung sino po ang tinutumbok ninyo, subalit wala hong personalan ito eh. When you dismiss or when you reassign employees to other departments, you should comply with the provisions of the law. Mayroon ng requirement. Isa ho sa requirement to you maintain the same status, the same work. Hindi ho po pwede na isang inhinyero ay gawin nyo security.
Ako po may tatlong katanungan. This representation of the 2nd District of Parañaque would like to ask, my first question would be, could you please clarify the Ombudsman's stance and procedures regarding anonymous complaints against public officials? How does the Ombudsman evaluate, investigate such complaints, and what criteria are used to determine whether anonymous complaints are acted upon or not?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, the Ombudsman pursuant to the Constitution and the law creating the Office of the Ombudsman 6770 has given the Ombudsman the authority to investigate motu proprio. We also entertain anonymous complaints if the complaints have verifiable facts. Ibig pong sabihin, if the facts stated in the complaint can be verified and there is substantial evidence to show that pwede namin pagpatuloy ang investigasyon, we continue with that. Just like in the judiciary, where there is a complaint against a judge, even if it is an anonymous complaint, the Supreme Court also entertains those matters. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
And ano po ang criteria po natin o basihan pag sinabi po natin siya po ay dapat aksyonan o hindi?
Once we establish the verifiable facts, we validate. Ito bang mga facts nito ay totoo, nag-exist? So that's where we conduct the fact-finding investigation or the case build-up to validate all these facts that are stated in the anonymous complaint. Because otherwise, kung wala man lang kami makuhang ebidensya, walang dokumento, walang witness na pwede mag-testify, the investigators will just recommend for the dismissal of the complaint.
Okay. Second question. In light of the Office of the Ombudsman's decision to file graft charges against individuals involved in the purchase of COVID-19 RT-PCR test kits from Pharmally Pharmaceutical Corporation and the subsequent recommendation for penalties, can you please clarify what specific actions or measures the Office of the Ombudsman intends to take to ensure the enforcement of these penalties and legal accountability of those involved in the case?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sa administrative aspect of those involved in the purchase of test kits, one of those that was dismissed from the service is the Ombudsman's own overall Deputy Ombudsman. Karamihan po doon na-dismiss, may mga na-dismiss na from the service. On the criminal aspect, we're just waiting that the motion for reconsideration of the persons involved of the respondents is resolved, and we will immediately file this with the Sandigan Bayan, Your Honor.
Could you please provide information on the potential repercussions and impact of government accountability and transparency in the event of the abolishment of ARTA?
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, I have nothing against ARTA. I want to make this clear, I have nothing against ARTA, except that the law that created ARTA has partly trodden into the path of the Ombudsman. Ang sabi po ng Konstitusyon, the 1987 Constitution says that the determination of red tape, inefficiency, and corruption is the sole function of the Ombudsman. Ang nangyari po dito sa batas ng ARTA, sinaklaw ng ARTA yung pagdidetermine namin ng red tape. Wala akong pakialam kung gawin ng ARTA yung pagtulong sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno para mapabilis ang kanilang to oversee yung gawain ng gobyerno. With no offense meant to anyone, naging emotional kasi ang Kongreso noon eh. When President Rodrigo Duterte said, sa amin sa Davao, isang araw lang, tapos na yung ano na yun, mga application for licenses. I mean, I have nothing against anyone or whoever has passed those, has authored this law, but parang naging emotional eh. It was more of an emotional decision rather than looking into ano ba other existing laws. It is true that the Ombudsman during the previous years ay hindi na-address yung determination of red tape and efficiency. What are the causes of inefficiency? Because the office of the Ombudsman has been overwhelmed with complaints, with cases. Sinisimula na nga sana nitong panahon ko, pero mayroon namang ARTA, ano naman ang gagawin ko? So, I have a conversation with ARTA. Go ahead with what you're doing. We will also do what we are supposed to do under the law. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I just would like to not really forewarn, but maybe caution also, and let us be very careful, especially when we dismiss or we prosecute or recommend for the prosecution of people who came from the private sector and joined government. Kasi po, nangyayari po niyon, ang usap-usapan, sa marami pong nasususpindi, natatanggal ng mga tao sa gobyerno na galing po sa pribado, marami na rin pong natatakot sa pribado na sumama po sa gobyerno. So, dapat tingnan ho natin mabuti ho to. Dahil nagkakaroon ho ng takot at concern yung mga gustong magagaling na galing ho sa pribado, sumama sa gobyerno at tumulong sa ating pamahalaan.
Mr. Alam ko po kung sino po ang tinutumbok ninyo, kagalang-galang na kinatawan ng Paranaque. Subalit, wala akong personalan ito eh. When you dismiss or when you reassign employees to other departments, you should comply with the provisions of the law. Mayroon ng requirement. Isa ko sa requirement to, you maintain the same status, the same work. Hindi ho po pwede na isang inhinyero ay gawin nyo security. O ang isang security, i-assign mo bilang kahero. Siguro magkaiba ho ang mga functions nito. Para ho nag-assign kayo ng isang abogado na gawin niyang taga-imbalsamo. O ang isang surgeon na gawin yung isang prosecutor, hindi naman abogado. So, there's nothing wrong if a person from the private sector joins the government. For as long as you comply with government laws and regulations, you do not violate the law, wala hong dapat ikatakot. Marami pong salamat.
Marami rin po salamat, Mr. Chair, Mr. Ombudsman. Palagay ko ay hindi ko isa lang po yan sa maybe mga tao na naapektuhan, pero marami naman po at even before your time na may mga nangyari pong ganyan. Meron po sa BIR na magagaling na humawak po dyan, tinanggal at sila very disgruntled. At syempre kumakalat naman po yan sa business community. Totohanan, minsan ho kasi meron po tayong mga ahensya na pag pumasok po ang isang pribadong mamamayan, at na-advise siya ng kanyang mga legal counsel at gagawa naman siya ng galaw, minsan ang gigiba naman ho dyan yung mga iba't ibang mga built-in na sindikato dun sa ahensyang yon. So ang gibaan ho dyan ay kawawa ho yung isang pribadong mamayan na talagang gustong tumulong, gawin yung dapat ginagawa niya sa pag-manage niya sa isang pribadong kumpanya, at ito'y dali niya sa gobyerno. Ang problema, ang gigiba ho dyan ay yung mga sasagasaan at yung mga sindikato, at marami pong ahensyang ganyan po, especially malaki at mahaba po malaki po mga budget, dahil sila po uno na apektuhan. Pag sila na-reassign, sila ang nawawalan ho ng hanap buhay. Kaya may agenda ho sila eh. So dapat ho palagay ko, yan ay dapat i-evaluate. Naintindihan ko po kayo, pero hindi lang po yung ahensyang binabanggit nyo. Even before, natagal na rin po ako sa gobyerno, since 1988 pa ho ko, nakita ko na ho ito paulit-ulit kung paano gibain ang isang pribadong manager na galing sa pribadong sektor, paano gibain ang mga sindikato sa isang ahensya. Salamat po.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we act when there are complaints, especially internal affairs within the government office. We cannot act kung wala namang complaint o wala kami nabasa sa dyaryo para where we can start a case build-up investigation or a fact-finding investigation. Sana po yung mga taong nasagasaan nung sila ay nasa BIR, sana po nagreklamo sila, nireklamo po lang kanilang mga superiors. I encourage everyone, every government employee, na ireklamo niyo mga superiors niyo. Nagkamali, ireklamo ninyo. Ako po, minura po ako ng isang empleyado ng ombudsman. When I said during the last budget hearing in the Senate that even the ombudsman is not free from corruption, isang empleyado po namin. Tinawag pa ako si Raulo. Minura po ako, ginamit po malalalim na termino sa Bisaya. Pero pinagsawalang bahala ko yun. Pagsama yun sa trabaho ko eh. So, I encourage government employees, ireklamo nyo ang inyong mga boss. Kung sila nagkasala, sila tiwali, ireklamo ninyo. Just be sure that pagdating ng investigasyon, kayo ihaharap. Hindi yung magrereklamo lang kayo. Na marami kasi sa ombudsman po ngayon na magpa-file ng complaint. Pag sinimula namin investigasyon, alam mo nyo sinasagot? Basta nag-file ako ng complaint, wala na akong pakialam dyan, bahala na kayo. Saan po kami kukuha ng witness? Kung di siya mismo na nag-file ng reklamo. Marami pong ganyan. Kanya't nag-iisip nga po ako na i-cite in contempt itong mga tao nagpa-file ng mga harassment suits Karamihan po sa mga empleyado sa gobyerno, lalo na mga politiko, ay victims of harassment suits. I stand by that. Marami po. At siguro nga, values talaga ito Maano sa tao yung inggit, pumapasok sa atin inggit na, aywan ko pero values all boils down to values. And I encourage government officials, Honorable Congressman Tambunting, can tell them they can file their complaint anytime with the Office of the Ombudsman, and we will act on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Gats, Tambunting. I just would like to ask the Ombudsman about the ARTA, no? Would you therefore suggest that, because it's overlapping function, that ARTA law should be repealed or modified or what?
I made that suggestion to have the ARTA law modified, but it fell on deaf ears last year. I was encouraged by my peers, by my colleagues, to file a case before the Supreme Court to declare partly the ARTA law as unconstitutional. Pero sa dami po ng problema namin sa ombudsman, ayoko nang patulan ho ang mga ganyan. I just want to voice out my sentiment that ARTA has trodden into the functions of the ombudsman, and that makes it unconstitutional. Especially the determination of red tape, the causes of red tape and inefficiency in government. In fact, if you read the Constitution, hindi dapat nagpapataw ng parusa. Ang ginagawa po ng ARTA ngayon ay nagpapataw ng parusa. Bawal po yun. Pero ako hindi nagsasawalang kibo. Ayoko po ng away. Pero kung sila ay pinipilit na ako makipag-away, ay pwede rin naman po. Maraming pong salamat.
Thank you, Justice Martires. And now I
Umani naman ito ng iba't ibang reaksyon mula sa ating mga netizens. Ayon kay Edith Sevilla, kudos to Sir Martires. He answers directly and comprehensively. Very neutral and fair. Sana lahat ng manungkulan ay kagaya mo. Pahayag naman ni Arnolfo Siriban, the wisdoms of the Ombudsman justified the means. They are truly true to their perspective and objectively complied as narrated by the constitutional powers relay on them. Mabuhay po kayo. At ito naman ang saloobin mula sa ating kababayan na si Lilia Aquino. Sana lahat ng nakaupo sa government ay katulad ni Sir Martires. Umayos ka Mr. Congressman. Mga kababayan, feel free to comment below para maglabas ng saloobin sa balitang ito.